Good morning, BPNs. Today, I'm going to share some very important pointers for you to note for the upcoming full home-based learning starting this Wednesday, 8 April, all the way to 4th May. Just last Thursday, we completed our first trial run of home-based learning. Let's hear some of your takeaways. Some of you mentioned you enjoyed the lessons as it's well planned, and you can get to rewatch videos of the lessons. Some of you also mentioned there are some difficulties of not being able to log into SLS. Sometimes the video conferencing lessons are a bit slow to response, and it's hard for you to communicate with your classmates, which help you better focus on the HBL lessons. And some of you also shared that for conference calling your teachers and friends make it a new way to bond. All right. And it's also heartening to note that some of you felt that the teachers are also facing difficulties using a Google Meet as it's foreign to them. And you were very encouraging to say that we all need a little bit more time to adapt since it's our first. So let's move on. We know that the COVID-19 situation is evolving. Just last Friday press release, MOE Minister Mr. Ong mentioned that it's the right time to close schools now as a national circuit breaker policy. Let's take a look at the summary from the MOE announcements. First, school suspension. School will be suspended a month. Classes will resume on 5th May, but MOE will continue to closely monitor the COVID-19 situation. Second, exam matters. School-based mid-year exams will be cancelled. National exams will proceed as planned with the necessary measures in place. This will include the mid-year GCO level mother tongue examinations in June. Lastly, June holidays curriculum can be covered, so there's no need to claw back from the June holidays. Before I move on to explaining the details of full home-based learning, I want all of you to be reminded that the first step to doing great work is always being prepared. So being prepared and getting ready for HBL involves first bring back all your books and files home by this Tuesday. Second, every morning when you wake up for your home-based learning at the comforts of your own home, you must be prepared with your thermometer, your PE attire, your books and files in your laptop ready, a bottle of water to hydrate yourself, and also don't forget to smile and be positive throughout the lessons of the day. I will quickly go through 6 units with you, underlying the details of all the full home-based learning in our school. First is why you're concerned about the timetable. A new timetable will be generated for the full home-based learning. There'll be 5 periods every day from operating a 10 days, day 1 to day 10 cycle. All right, so every morning, 7:30, you're expected to log into SLS for attendance and AM temperature taking. From 7:40 to 12:40, you have your home-based learning lessons, 4 subjects lessons, plus half an hour of recess break and 30 minutes of form class period. At 12:40 p.m., you're supposed to log into SLS for your checkout and PM temperature taking. If it applies to you, from 2 to 3 p.m., there will be small group online remedial and consultations. This timetable will be put on the school website. You can also find out from your form teachers. Alright, so I'll outline some changes to the timetable structure. We have removed all double periods. Sec 1 Cook for Fun and Sec 2 ASP lessons will also be removed during the full home-based learning. There will be some reduction in the number of periods for most subjects due to having to shorten the day from 2:40 all the to 12:40 where everybody ends at 12:40. For example, PE home-based learning will be reduced from twice to once a week. Alright, so I've talked about morning attendance taking. Let me say something about if you are feeling unwell on that morning, when you are awake, you should still call the general office to report sick, and you can continue your HBL lessons on another day when you're well. However, if you miss your HBL with no valid reasons, it's considered a school offense of skipping lessons, and we'll address the matter with you when you return back to school. Recess timing will largely continue. Alright, take the recess 30 minutes to have your short break, take a rest away from the computer and go for a toilet break and get refreshed for the next 2 lessons. All right, from class period, apart from conferencing, whether it's individual or 3 to 5 students, where your teachers will call you for group conferencing to check on your well-being and surface any concerns during this period. Your form teachers could also engage you in some group work or games for the whole class, for example. And Mr. Chuan, the school principal, may also use this time to address the school. CCE lessons will continue. You're expected to complete the work assigned to you, your reflections on the lesson package on SLS. Remedials, we have shifted the timing earlier to 2 to 3 p.m. You can have your lunch after the last period at 12:40. All right. And basically stick to the usual days of Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Fridays for your remedials and consultations. Next, for HBL subject lessons, you'll realize there is still a 1 hour period. However, during HBL, then there will be a maximum of 30 minutes for every period to be done online, and the next 25 to 30 minutes should be offline, where teachers will assign you to do homework, read your textbooks and your notes. So do not just go online to browse other internet browsers and other things. And the teachers will also try to end the lessons at least 5 minutes before the period, so that you can have the time to transit to other platforms. And all your teachers will be available for consultation throughout that hour. Now, this is something new, so I need all of you to pay attention. The HBL daily lesson guide will be shared with you, all right, at the Google Sheet for every day lesson, all right. Make it a point to go up to this daily lesson guide to see what the lessons and instructions you have from your subject teachers for the day for every subject. Okay, so you will look like this, where the teachers will tell you the link for the Google Meet to go in, to log in, and then to complete the lesson in SLS, ask questions in Google Meet, complete an exit game, and do your offline homework, which in the textbook, which page, which exercise, and which question. Okay, so for assessment methods, for all the Sec 1s to 3s, all right, you'll be concerned about your Term 2 weighted assessments, both your class test, project work, and group work. Do note that all your Term 2's weighted assessments will be suspended. All right, so for those assessments already conducted in the last 2 weeks, you will still be marked and feedback given back to you. For those scheduled at week 7 and 10, when lessons should have resumed, the assessment will still be given to you for self-assessment, but marks will not be counted towards the year-end assessment, so that you will not get too stressed out. Focus on learning online. Okay. So some of the weightings will be adjusted and redistributed to your Term 3 weighted assessments and the end of year examinations. And for the Sec 4s and 5s, you'll be concerned about your mid-year examinations. You'll be cancelled. When school reopens, the mid-year papers will be used as practice papers for self-assessment. For O-level mother tongue examinations, like I've mentioned earlier, it will still continue in June. All right, your teachers, your mother tongue teachers will be giving support to the Sec 4 Express NA students, as well as the Sec 5 students taking your examinations. For coursework subjects, students taking coursework subjects like art, food studies, D&T, CPA, and EBS, you should not be coming back to school during full home-based learning to complete your coursework in the afternoons. All right, do rest assured that provisions will be made by the exam boards to help all of you have considering to complete your work. All right, more guidance and information will be given to you through your subject teachers and will be updated again. Next, for all home-based learning, being self-disciplined is very important. So here I would like to share with you some of the expectations. All right, first, I need all of you to be ready, focused, and responsive. It's your responsibility as a student to ensure you complete the online work or the offline work and be engaged in the home-based learning. If there are areas you do not understand during lessons, your subject teachers will be available for consultations. Next, being consistent and responsible is to try and keep up with your learning. If there are external factors and circumstances like slow internet connection, login issues, sharing devices that you could not keep up with the pace, Be responsible and inform your subject teachers you needed more time to complete your work and can do it at your later time in the afternoon. All of you will also be engaged in quite a number of video conferencing, Google Meeting, Zoom, and etc. All right, so it's important to remember to be considerate and respectful and observe web etiquette during the sessions. So before class, remember to check your surroundings. Make sure you are at a quiet area at your work desk. Remember to check the start timing of the video conference on the HBL Daily Lesson Guide. Get the link to Recess Ready and enter 5 minutes earlier. Join the meeting using your real name so that we know who we are talking to. Once you join the meeting, mute your audio immediately and enable your video camera as part of web conference courtesy and wait for the teachers to begin the lesson. During the class, do not open other internet browser windows unless instructed by your teachers. If you want to speak, raise your hands or unmute and say your name before asking the question. Do not use the chat function unnecessarily because classroom time is precious. Always enable your video camera throughout the session. All right. If you are found to be missing from the online HBL sessions without valid reasons or did not complete your work, your parents will be informed and you may be taken to task when you return to school. This is applicable to all sessions, including your subjects, your form class, and your CCE lessons. If you are found to be always disrupting the video conferencing sessions and not being respectful to your teachers and peers, your subject teachers will inform the year heads and the discipline master respectively. Parents will be informed and you may be taken to task when you return to school. All right. We know that moving forward to full HBL, some of you will have concerns that you don't have access to computing device or internet connection and loan device or report to school during the full home-based learning. Your form teachers will seek your updates on the following. All right, please provide all these details as far as possible, as accurate as possible, so that we can prioritize who to loan the device, who to report to school during full home-based learning. All right, your FTs will inform all of you who will be able to loan the device by Tuesday morning, and the loaning devices will be made available at Level 1 Learning Port on Tuesday from 2 p.m. onwards after your lessons. Otherwise, students who cannot loan the devices will be asked to report by 7:30 a.m. every day to access home-based learning in school. During this period of home-based learning, you may wish to speak to someone who could better support your well-being matters. Other than approaching your form teachers, you may also approach your year heads, your level heads, the school counselors, and the AEDLBS. Okay, lastly, there's also support for students with technical issues. For example, logging into SLS, getting connected and updated with the school website and others. Right, this is the SLS login guide. Remember your user ID and what you can also click forget password or the school-based helpline if you have any queries with regards to SLS. All right, some of you would mention that there are way too much information on the full home-based learning. How do I get all the updates in one area, all right, one website? Okay, not to worry. We have consolidated all the information, all the updates, and all the information on this Google site, full home-based learning at BPGHS. All right. So this is the BPHBL website. It's up. You can scan. You take out your handphones to scan the QR code or go to the following website link. And this link will also be placed on the school website for you to access. I will be going in a few seconds time running through the website with you on things to note. All right, this is the Google site, the BPHBL 2020 site. So on the home page, you'll be able to see the latest home-based learning timetable and some of the useful links to the student learning space. On the top right-hand corner, right, you will see BPN News. Okay, so this will be, apart from focusing on your HBL, we will use this space to stay tuned for updates, for any announcements that we would like to make through the school YouTube channel and others. It will be here. Next one is the BP help desk. All right, so if you need anything, all right, the school will remain open to call and others. The SLS website, all right, and the school-based helpline link is all here. Also, the gov.sg, if you have anything you want to update with regards to the COVID-19 situation. All right, and then the drop-down list, you have an online user guide. All right, so when apart from SLS, your teachers may be using a variety of online tools and platforms. This is just one example of a user guide on how to the steps to go into Google Meet. And some of the offline assignments, your teachers may be asking you to submit the compositions for their marking and feedback. So this is one online guide using Scannable or Cam Scanner app to send the offline assignments to your subject teachers. Okay. All right, so student well-being matters. We have also updated and uploaded the tips, all right, on 10 good habits on home-based learning experience. And like I've mentioned, for student well-being, if you have anything, you can also email our school counselor, Miss Lim, for advice. Okay, the last tab is your HBL lessons. All right, so when you click on this, the full HBL timetable is already uploaded here as well. And then you'll go into the respective levels. If you're a Sec 1 student, go into Sec 1 Lessons tab. All right, you'll be able to access the Sec 1 HBL Daily Lesson Guide accordingly. All right, so you'll be able to see every lesson, what are the instructions given by your subject teachers. And if you have any questions with regards to the day's activity and the lessons, you can also refer to the Sec 1 subject teachers and form teachers list, where there's an email as well. Okay, so please stay tuned to this Google site where anything about the HBL will be updated here. All right, so you have a one-stop location to find out anything and everything about HBL in Bukit Panjang. All right. Okay. Thank you, school.